Good day.
What are we doing?
Yeet.
Shit. This is gonna be interesting today.
There's a vehicle backing up. I can just
Sorry,
hear it.
that's me.
Woo!
So for now,
Nice
who would like to recap
background
last time while I'm muted?
Stress.
Fight!
Esther and Rosalind were kidnapped, and we were all fine. We were all fine. Ashto was so fine he could murder, and we did. Eventually taking out a spooky masked man, and Esther refusing healing from anybody.
Spooky masked man, absolutely not from Dishonored.
No, absolutely not.
He was, I love the font change, by the way.
Fervis had his first taste of actual real battle, and that was...
Changing the font.
Who's changing corn?
Oh
Oh no.
That almost looks like the font the band is written in, the one with the K.
That's kind of why I picked it. Yeah, no, that would be your lovely DM who's picking that font.
no. Figured.
God damn, that's...
Hot take, Esther did not like being kidnapped, and it's really fucking with her self-confidence.
No.
Good.
I mean, I feel like that's a perfectly rational statement, personally.
Hot take, no one liked anyone being kidnapped.
No one likes
No,
that.
yeah, no.
Yeah, but usually it's just Rosalind getting kidnapped.
Yeah, I think Rosalind's mindset was, oh, not again.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Which is the worst mindset to have while being kidnapped, by the way.
Just kind of looks
Other
at the
than-
dude and goes,
Oh, actually, no, hold on. I take that back. There's one that's worse, and it's the Kane mindset, which is, well, this might as well happen.
This might as well happen.
I like the concept of, like, Rosalind getting kidnapped yet again. She just looks at the captors and goes, that's okay. I have a tracking beacon.
So then
What?
Ben says, okay, you guys just made a big mistake. You've got one chance to rectify it and just let me go.
It's like, look, I've been kidnapped 3 times already. This is nothing to me. I don't care what your demands are. You're gonna be dead by the end of the day.
Pulling a Julius Caesar on the boat.
I
What do you
demand
mean my ransom is only? I am worth much more.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a lot of arrogance.
Oh my god, that's how we bankrupt Hal Kareem. We fake a rare,
Oh.
make it insanely expensive, and then bankrupt him.
Aquarius, we need you to do a favor for us.
Yeah, that's a plan. Holy shit, I love that.
I'm sorry, hold on. You're trying to
That's
bankrupt
fine.
Hal Kareem by what? Demanding a ransom from him for Rosalind?
Aquarius
yes, and every time-
kidnaps Rosalind, and we tell Hal
Exactly.
Kareem that we need his help, and we're just like, we don't have the money for this ransom. You have to help us.
So, we don't have the time to unpack the 47 different reasons that's not a good idea.
However,
There's one
all,
reason.
and it's fucking for the memes.
Yeah.
See, it's
God
not a
damn
good
it.
idea, but it's a good reason.
It's not the worst idea, though.
It's like a
It's just
drunk
like, because he
crackhead.
I'm not so
would.
sure.
And you know what? And then once he's bankrupt and we have all his money, we steal his girl.
Give him a small loan of 20,000 gold.
Fuck.
For reference to anyone who's watching this recording, this is what happens when we play D&D at 3 p.m. instead of 8. We have energy and ideas.
None of us are tired.
Oh my god, that's
None of us
true
are
though.
tired.
And it's
So-
not like a
Anyhow.
Saturday that we've all spent sleeping and shit or
I
working.
might as
Yeah.
well take a nap right now. Y'all are...
I would not
Anyhow,
recommend that, John. It's
we,
going to be a whack session.
No.
We take care of the problem. The main guy in charge of that operation with the mask was a minion of the 13th Zodiac. They wanted Aquarius in exchange for Rosalind and Esther. And the party collectively went, ha, and started shooting.
Was he yellow?
Yes, it was a gift.
Yes. Well, he didn't have a face, but, like, he was yellow.
The bits of him we could see, I guess.
13 Zodiac lives in the Corn Palace.
Stop it. Stop. Yes.
So anyhow,
That would be a plot twist and a half.
The Corn Minions!
Guys,
yeah, this is
Yeah.
already derailed.
We've...
Anyway, recap.
Slipped into delirium.
We finished up, we took a short rest, we buried, or rather, we didn't bury, we burned the bodies, but we dug a pit for them first so they didn't set the forest
Esther
on fire.
burned them all.
Yep. We're still in the Patchwork Forest, the Rosalian Forest segment of it. And, I think, yeah, rain was just beginning to fall after we took care of the bodies.
And as rain falls in the Rosalian Forest, and you each take your time to heal, give potions, recover as best you can after the ordeal of a kidnapping,
Esther passed out for a fat hour.
and it was a good rest. Who wants to roll me a d6?
Yes.
Aw.
Go for it.
What? D6?
Do
Yep.
it.
6.
Okay. Ashta,
Great.
you get a sending spell
Worse.
Oh.
from Xenia's dad,
Oh no!
Which one?
the wizard.
Okay.
It says, hold on, let me count the words.
The pitfall of sending.
Hey, how's it going?
Cedric really be
Sent
vibing.
my daughter in 4 different
Alright.
places.
The message starts with, if you know where Xenia is, please let us know. Angry exes are here. They said something about the Patchwork Forests. Where is Xenia?
Is this Scott Pilgrim?
Where's Xenia? That's a good question,
What
actually.
do you mean X's?
I tried to send my kid a sending, and it gave me 4 options.
Oh. Is Ashton just sitting there with
There's
a...
Yeah, he has this like look on his face for a second.
What's wrong?
Like he has a look of almost like indigestion.
Are you okay?
Are you
He's-
constipated?
He holds a finger up and just talks under his breath in a way that might be belying the thing. We're working on finding Xenia. We will get in better contact if you have more sending. How many words?
25.
You have 10 left.
Please use it. Apologies for Xenia.
Ashto, what's going on?
I just got a message from Xenia's father, wizard father.
Is Xenia there?
No, but, well, I don't. Apparently, there's some disgruntled exes.
X's?
Exes?
Plural?
He shrugs.
Immediately
And-
look over at Eloise.
I don't know!
It's been How long has it been since the split?
And
X raises his hand.
and there was some mention of the Patchwork Forest.
Real quick, when was the split, Conrad? How long ago?
2 days.
2 days?
2 days?
Not necessarily. Xenia did have 100 years or so before meeting us.
This will raise
Raise
his
hand.
hand.
And then this one, as the head like shifts towards Luis, would know all about that. Yes.
I've dated 3 people.
That's,
One of them's up there. If the other 2 are there, I really hope that they're alive.
One of them is a... I'm sorry?
I dated a lot of humans. Had a thing.
So then,
What is
At her-
happening?
parents' place, they're most likely elderly.
Sorry, I
God.
don't understand. What is happening?
Okay,
I
so
don't understand either, Vervis.
there used to be a member of our party named Xenia. Xenia.
I've met
Yeah.
Xenia. What is this about?
So Xenia split their soul into 4 different people. So
Yes, I remember that.
Purvis,
yes, so Xenia is now, I guess, causing trouble with past lovers.
Oh no. Oh, you're always like gonna look at the ground and just go, oh no!
You have any idea where Xenia might be?
Idwis is gonna like look at Rosalind and just feign. So you know that book we're reading?
Rosalind feigns back. Yes?
Xenia's the horny one, Xenia's the horny one, Xenia's the horny one.
Oh.
Is there a conversation happening here?
There is a definite O expression on Rosalind's face.
Wait, what?
It was just gonna start saying out loud, Zinga is the horny one.
Oh,
There's like a-
okay.
Again, the look of indigestion on Ash just.
Asha, you knew from you knew Xenia for months. You knew in at least the first month that they wanted to a god. At least one.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
sorry, what?
Don't ask.
Esther was on a stripper's pole. The bar wasn't exactly high.
I did a fairly decent job, thank
What?
you.
You made 4 gold, Esther. Come on, we all know that.
You know what? For a beginner, that's not too bad. I've seen people do worse.
Anyways,
To be fair,
I asked.
I have witnessed an
I
amputee.
asked the father.
I could not be more.
We're not going down this path right now. I asked the father if he had more sending to use, to please send more details. Haven't got anything yet, but if we have any way to get in contact, we should do so. Playing telephone with sending in 25 words or less isn't going to help.
Good gods, I'm so confused.
Well, you said the Patchwork Forest. Airways, is there any memory of anywhere in the Patchwork Forest she could go? Or they could go?
Do I have memory of the Patchwork Forest? Conrad!
Roll me intelligence check.
Conrad, give us a hint here.
And next person to Conrad takes immediate damage.
Also, you
21.
don't need to put the extra letter there. It's Cornad.
Alright then.
Hey, you said the
We're
next...
playing this game today?
He did not say what you forbade.
Yep.
Conrad.
Technically, it was a different word.
Fucking
There was a missing
Cornad.
letter.
My rage does not come with the terms and conditions, bitch.
Fuck. I'm so lost.
21.
Both as player and as
21.
character.
Alright, so. You don't know any specific areas within the Patchwork Forest. You know of some specific forests that you've always kind of had interest in, especially when you were still Xenia. But you do know that one past fling was with a really weird... Like, it never actually went anywhere. But it was kind of like a mutual thing of like, oh, we're kind of interested, but it's not happening. With a gnome.
Really?
And he, at one point, did run away to the Patchwork Forest.
Oh.
Yeah,
Name? Did I remember his name? Do I remember his name? Please tell me I remember his name.
You do. Give me a second while I go read those fucking notes.
I thought
I
you were
gave him
gonna
a
say.
I gave him a title, not a name. 1 second.
I thought you were gonna say like a mutual thing with a mutant piece of corn, and I was gonna throw my computer.
I'm not that.
Understandable.
It was me!
What?
Oh no!
It was me.
Or
5 minutes.
Well done. That's pretty good, actually.
I hate that so much.
10 minutes.
How did we?
I drew it on recording too.
Oh my god.
His name was Razdan Cordy.
Razdan Corny?
Cordy.
Conrad, what did you expect this session? I'm just
It
curious.
was randomly generated!
Okay.
Please hold for 1 second. My mother is calling me.
You will be needed now.
Look, everyone should know that when you randomly generate a name, you think up a name and you go, oh, this name sounds cool, you immediately go and ask like a 5-year-old to repeat the name to you after you've said it once, because that's what happens.
Happening.
Razdan Corn Diddy.
Senior fucked a no.
oh
so
my
tired.
god.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Xenia fucking got it, but alright.
It was
Here's the thing,
explicitly
like-
said that Xenia didn't.
I really hoped they didn't.
Xenia went on 1 date, maybe 2, and
Who's drawing corn?
Stop. I'm
Yeah,
already
in
so
the
confused
meantime-
from the.
In the meantime, Rosalind is kind of taken Fervus slightly aside and it's given him a very, very truncated rundown that pretty much boils down to basically learn from the mistakes of others and do not repeat them yourself.
I don't
Had
understand
the
romance. This
Don't
sucks.
don't get into massive debt by taking an experimental potion and then finding you owe some gnome alchemist thousands of gold. I realize it's probably not a specific problem to you, but extrapolate
That is
to
very
other
simple.
areas you were
What?
not
Comes
so
up more than you'd
experienced
think.
in.
Esther very, very pointedly looks over and flips her off.
If you do end up in massive debt, there may be better ways than dancing on a stage to try and resolve that problem.
Why are we calling me out?
She's doing it very quietly in the corner.
Like Fergus has his face in his hands, like, what is happening? I don't
Esther's ears are
understand
burning
any of
then.
this.
Welcome to Grown Up Land.
They're always burning.
Welcome to Grown Up Land.
What is happening?
Purvis had the talk, right? He knows everything that's going on here.
God, didn't we ask him this a while ago?
I don't know,
He
and
knows what
Rosalind's
it
not gonna
is.
ask.
He's read books.
Growing more corn.
You know, Xenia read books too, and look where this
Understand it.
got us.
Not to say that he understands anything about it, but
We were warned.
he's never found that to be pertinent information and relevant information. So he's just sort of like, okay,
Esther just kinda, as of experience, sex is gross. Don't do it.
I'll leave
Huh?
that conversation to you, and she's just gonna walk away
Where's your wisdom?
with a burning
I
red face.
feel
Very
like
studiously
that's
not looking at certain people.
subjective.
This is the video that has the highest chance of being taken down.
Yes.
We're not
It's okay.
monetized.
And
That's
also,
fair.
we were clean within the first minute.
That's also fair.
Well, what do you mean? Do you experience sexual attraction or no?
I don't know. I'm 17.
I'm assuming yes.
Ashley glances over for a second, and it's like, I don't know how jealousy work. And he just walks away.
Theodore just gives a shrug too. I thought he was 7.
I've lived in a desert for what 13 years of the.
Feelings are the same.
Fine,
Doesn't
yeah.
matter where you go. Asha lived in the hinterlands.
Isolation
I'm
in a
positive he was
desert.
fine.
What am I? Pray tell, Esther. What am I to be sexually attracted to in a desert?
And on that note,
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, it was just gonna look just like it was
Shit.
the gnome. It was the gnome.
so someone roll me a d4.
I
I'll
will.
do it.
I will.
Oh, okay.
Ashley, go ahead and you roll it.
Alright.
Oh, I already.
1.
It's the same.
Oh, worked out just fine.
Well,
Alright, so, Rosalind. You get a sending spell sent to you. And it's in Xenia's voice.
Uh-oh.
Hi, I fucked up. There's corn everywhere. My ex is kind of crazy. Please help.
Rosalind sends back, commingle now so we can get directions.
Xenia does have sending. Don't worry about it. We'll get there.
Okay.
You get a second sending back that says, Fane is currently offline. It's in this forest. I promise you, you can't miss it. Tell Ashton to be angry.
Oh.
And you're sent, basically, the name of the Forest of Maize.
I
Oh,
hate
no.
I hate
That's
it.
amazing.
Stop.
Has
So is
Rosalind
Rosalind, really.
ever heard of this forest? Or this portion of the forest?
Roll a history check with advantage.
Okay. Okay. Where's history? There it is. 22.
You've heard of it before. This specific forest was a druid trying to make a large crop gone wrong.
I hate this.
They tried to use the magic of the forest to help grow supersized corn, which is pretty common, but even more supersized than normal supersized, and ended up creating a forest of, like, you know those, like, giant redwood trees?
Mm-hmm.
Corn that big.
She looks at the rest of the party. Xenia just got in touch. Fane are unavailable, which has.
Can you
its own
feign us the
implications.
exact message then?
She very quickly does so, along with the very quick, download, Dropbox of information, what she remembers about the Forest of Maize.
And Ash goes,
probably-
"What?"
The Forest of Mate. Oh,
He wasn't even an ex.
what's
What's
Mate?
wrong with him?
The what?
Wait, why do I have to be? What?
What's maze?
Let's
Corn.
discuss this as we walk. And she'll start heading in the, I'm guessing, appropriate direction.
Yep.
Or as near as she can figure.
Why do you call it maze if it's corn? What's the point of having two words?
You used multiple words like that before in common. Don't give me that.
Languages are interesting. Common is a bit of a conglomerate of multiple languages that came together to form a single. And she just starts going off.
Yeah.
In that
I thought you
sense,
would've
what
known this by
fucking
now.
language is maze from?
Alright,
Hold on, I'll roll that.
probably.
Elven.
French!
Yeah.
Yeah.
French.
Yeah, that's French.
Which
French.
is
Oren?
yeah, Orin, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
You
Oren,
know
okay,
me.
agreed.
so
Oren.
technically it's the fault of Primordial in the first place.
Oh, then I would know it. Never mind then.
You would
Fault
know
of the
it,
birds.
yeah.
You might be questioning why it's called corn when you could call it maize. Somebody said corn.
Yeah.
Alright, so as you guys forest, you guys would have to pass through 3 other small forests to get there. The first being the Grey Forest once more. The second being the Forest of Fluids, which is basically a bunch of. It's a forest where the plants are all transparent and all just house a huge amount of liquid. So if you want to do tap a syrup tree, it's almost completely filled with syrup. If you find a one that's filled with more like a watery thing, it's pretty much completely filled with water, and you can see inside of it. It's commonly used by those who live in the patchwork forests to collect resources and liquids because
Big
there's not many
coconuts.
large. Sorry.
Big coconuts.
Yeah, probably. It's basically there's no large bodies of water in the patchwork forest. It's a pretty common place for settlements to gather around. And finally, you would go to the it's usually called the Falls Forest. It's got things like any kind of fall fruit all times, like pumpkins. I guess not really fruit, but fall plants any time of the year. Yep, and it goes easier for you guys than usual, of course.
Just throwing that out there.
What'd you say?
Just through Ash's abilities, it's no difficulty getting through there. That being said, let's have a
Nice.
round of perception checks for everyone as you guys travel through.
Do I get advantage for remaining alert to stuff while doing that, or?
It's a lower DC.
Alright.
I've got a thorn. Honestly, Rosalind's number's higher.
30.
Oh,
All right.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
God.
Oh.
I got a
You
plus
see-
one.
Yeah.
None of us need to bother,
Everything.
but you know what? Whatever.
Yep.
Oh, Thorn, he's done well.
Let's go
Proud
Florida.
of him.
Yay!
It's a really good roll for Thorn, yeah.
What a boy.
All right. So, as you guys travel in the Grey Forest, first of all,
Hold on, I've got to
It's-
mute for a second.
okay. Traveling through, it's disconcerting going through this again. You can kind of see that seeping of color out of your guys' clothes like last time here. Traveling through isn't difficult. It's a simple enough path with the guidance of Ashta as well as the overhead sight of Thorn and the knowledge of Rosalind. Easy enough to travel through. At one point, Ashta, you see what looks to be a odd-colored, well, uncolored, I guess, parrot fly down to you guys and kind of swoop at your head. As it passes overhead, it's like a 7-8 foot wingspan, and it just kind of scratches at your helmet and flies back off. Doesn't really do anything, but it's just a very odd experience.
Let's see. He'll just make a gesture of hey, what the hell? Can you read its basic mood and intent? Emotional
Yeah,
state,
yeah.
whether it's affected by magic of any sort, short-term needs, and actions I can take to persuade it not to attack.
Yeah, basically it's aggressive because your helmet is shiny, or your armor is shiny.
I guess I don't fucking wear a helmet, dude. Alright. He also has a cloak over it.
Yeah, it's all flash and it swoop.
All right.
Welcome to Australia.
He,
After you
he
kind of like
puts
gesture
across the
towards it,
message of, "Hey, cut it out."
it kind of gives you the bird equivalent of like a "fuck off, asshole," and flies away.
The crossbow slowly goes up. He thinks better of it, it goes back down.
As you draw the crossbow, Essence kind of wraps around her shoulders, and she is brighter and far more present than usual.
Whoa.
It feels like she almost has weight to her actual form.
Hmm.
You're getting
And she kinda-
lively.
I've eaten well today. Don't worry. Not too hungry. And she kind of like runs her hand along your chest. You're still okay.
Gives like a confused look and just returns back.
And she slides back into the essence of the crossbow. And as you guys travel next through the... I already forgot the proper name that I gave, but the liquid forest. Fluid forest. Give
It's
me
not
another round of
better.
Give me a perception check. Everyone again.
The moist woods.
Ah!
Yay!
15.
Oh no, Thorn's back to normal.
Hey!
Says Rosalind.
So, with that one, Eloise, Asha, and Nestor, you all notice this pretty swiftly. As in this forest, in the kind of odd climate that these forests tend to hold, it's always very moist and very warm. Especially so in this one. You see buzzing around trees these massive mosquitoes. Easily the size of a horse. And they'll just
What
kind of
the
like... They'll just poke their proboscis into a tree, drink it. You see the swelling of the sac at their posterior as it fills with whatever that tree had inside of it, and then it flies on to do something else, followed by like a gaggle of smaller ones, and they're everywhere in the forest.
Gaggle, not swarm.
A gaggle.
All right.
Gaggle swarm.
I'm scared of the implication that these things are at least somewhat partially geese.
They bite.
Do they honk?
No, but they're equally as threatening.
Mm,
I don't know.
Not
Geese are
at all.
pretty.
These are
Just
actually
imagine-
so
just-
scary.
Just imagine a mosquito bite the size of like a horse bite.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I've never seen a horse bite, buddy. I don't
It-
want
it's,
to.
it's big.
Not certain geese though.
Esther looks visibly uncomfortable.
Geese have tongue teeth.
Fuck, I never needed to remember that.
I like geese.
I mean, mosquitoes have syringe faces, so
Ariel, you like yeast?
I like geese. I used to
Geese.
feed them when I was little.
You don't know
Okay,
Canadian
nice geese are nice,
Nice geese.
but
yeah.
violent geese are horrifying.
Yeah,
let's play
I
a
just
game.
didn't
Let's
have
play a
that
game to spot the
childhood.
non-Canadian.
I didn't have that childhood
Yeah.
experience with them. And yes,
Spot
they
the
were Canadian geese, but they
non-Canadian.
probably weren't nesting at that time of year in that place.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the problem. They nest up here, and it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see geese as like puppies with guns.
Yeah.
It's like oh look at the puppy, but it's got a gun.
Baby with a gun.
Baby with a gun!
With a gun!
I look at them and I think honk friends.
No.
You see, they leave their guns up in the north.
Here, ironically, really. Alternatively, Ariel's just too pure for the rest of us, and a geese would never dare harm her.
Ariel's just Snow White.
Yeah.
Basically.
No!
Literally.
She's my least favorite.
No,
Oh,
she's
shit.
Rapunzel. Come on.
I haven't seen.
It's okay.
Okay, let's do Rapunzel then.
Alright,
Guardian Tower.
The next forest.
Yes. As you guys get to the autumnal forest, it's very nice, actually. It's just very pleasant. If anyone's hungry, there's food aplenty.
Yes.
Large pumpkins, like the size of like houses. Zucchini, cucumber, like any kind of food you can imagine that comes to fruit
Cheers.
or comes to maturation in fall is abundant. You could pick them off trees, apples, anything you want, really.
Rosalind finds an apple, pulls out a small knife, and starts cutting into slices she offers to her friends as well.
And I will say, standard to the setting, but not standard to us, the apples are like the size of like a watermelon.
That is exactly why she is cutting it and offering like entire wedges
Yeah.
around.
Oh, absolutely. You guys are used to this, but just a reference of like the size of the fruit here. It's good.
Ashley gives a check to the apple and make sure it's not a secret. It's a poisoned apple because goddammit, it's Rosalind.
Oh,
Go
God.
ahead and roll. Just give me like a nature check.
Right. Yeah. 3.
It's an
Oh,
apple.
man.
It's red.
She's already taken a bite.
There's just kind of like flinch.
Saving throw.
She seems just fine. If you choose to have some too, Ashley, it's tart. It's fruity and juicy as all hell. And generally a pleasant meal.
Esther's going around cutting off different vegetables and stuffing them into her bag.
Yeah. You have a whole like Thanksgiving meal practically, minus the turkey.
Yep.
Cornucopia.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Everyone give me another perception check.
The plan is to see if Jade likes different foods.
Oh, inspiration command.
Fuck!
Guys!
Oh,
20.
Thank goodness for
Alright,
purpose.
Fervus. You were the only person not startled by the fervent sound of a rather large turkey. From a few, like a couple, couple dozen feet behind you. Not any sort of threat, but it seems like you've just crossed paths with it, and it gobbles with malicious intent for a moment, until it sees how many of you there are, and it kind of just spreads its wings and tries to scare you guys off in the direction you're.
Can I'm going to kick it.
What?
Okay.
No!
For reference, when I say a rather large turkey, I'm talking its size category large, meaning
Oh.
roughly at least 10 feet tall.
Ah.
Asha gestures in the "we're going this way, you go that way."
Ashton, can you kick it?
No. He's the smallest one of the group.
Yeah.
I assume he understands the turkey's just like back off.
Yeah, it's basically like, hey, you're in my territory. Also, that one pointing at, basically gesturing at Esther, took my dinner.
He looks over and it's like, the turkey's not happy you took its dinner, Esther.
Rosalind
There's so
will
much-
toss the apple core in the turkey's direction. It's huge.
What do you
I'm sure the
mean?
turkey
There's
will
so
snack
much
it.
more food.
Yep, it catches it and
Yeah,
just
but that
starts
was
like,
his
munching
food.
on it.
I only took a little bit.
Territory.
Territory, yeah. It's
It'll
the,
survive.
Let's go.
that's
There's one more empty gobble, but like a gesture of thanks towards Rosalind, and it goes away.
last.
Bring your glass.
No, that was a knitting needle being dropped.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Alright. And as you guys pass through this forest, you enter into the maze forest.
I hate
And the corn is genuinely hundreds of feet tall.
And
That's
now,
definitely-
Exists.
And you can see far through the forest because the stalks are relatively skinny compared to like the foliage of trees. It doesn't create many leaves comparatively. Most leaves don't start till 80, 90 feet in the air. But it is massive. And there's like this like brush and grass beneath your feet, which goes easily to waist height. To all of you, no comments of Ash's height, please. And continuing through, there are huge, like just bug all over. Every once in a while, you guys will see like a rather large lice. I don't know, not lice. What's the one? That,
Grub?
Tick. Thank you.
Oh!
No!
I don't
Where it's
like
this-
it.
Where it's like
No!
the size of like a rather large raccoon.
No!
No! No!
Mm.
Most of them are, if you guys choose to, easy enough to get rid of with like cantrips and arrows. Like they're not a huge threat, but they're present.
Is Esther hiding behind Ashta? Yes.
Asha just like, if he can, like gets across the idea to some of them. It's like, you don't want to mess with this, buddy. There's a turkey just a few ways back.
We can
Yeah,
go get
most of them
them.
don't even pay you attention. They're just kind of like hopping through the grasses, but they are big.
It's just any of them like come towards. It's just like, hey, you don't want to do it.
At one point, there's like a train of ants, which are probably like 3 feet long each that just kind of like walk in front of you. And it's like a train car passing in front of you guys.
One
You
of them
don't
has a
wanna,
little
like,
drum.
And it's like a train car passing in front of you guys because you don't want to interrupt it because it's like hundreds of ants. But you all are kind of just stuck waiting there for them to keep walking.
See, this, if anything else, is why druids should not have as much magic. This is why.
I agree.
Yes, something very clearly went wrong.
I'll remind you, you guys live in a castle where everything, all the flora and fauna are also giant. Don't be surprised if this is near where you live too.
Oh, bugs.
And there was not a druid in sight there.
The bugs are worse. The animals are fine. Bugs are worse.
You guys
also,
fought a bunch of giant spiders.
Yeah, it was that.
Also, our castle was way the hell and gone over to the east for giants, because giant size. All of this is because it's right in the middle near where Peduncle was, druid hotspot, etc.
Yeah, fair. I just love that it's like, this is why the druids need to be stopped. Like, guys, it's evolution.
No, this is why the druids need to be stopped.
Messengers need to be stopped.
Evolution
Fair
would
enough.
be to the east, where everything was giant. This is why druids need to not be allowed.
Yes, because this place is surrounded by normal-sized insects.
Alright, so let's have each make one more perception check.
Lovely.
And then here, every tick gets our shit rocked.
At this point, Asha will flip on the sunglasses.
Oh, Thorn.
Oh, wow.
Wester.
Some good numbers.
That was a nat 20, too.
Yeah.
That's what the green means.
27, well done. Alright, Fergus,
I don't get nat 20s enough to call Ash Devin. Fuck off.
Weak link. Fine.
Alright, so, yeah, Rosalind and, I guess Thorn and Esther, you guys, at some point as you're walking through, Rosalind, do you have this kind of like sense of where Thorn should be looking? And Esther, everything is so interesting to you and just like fascinating. You are attentive to every detail.
She's
In the distance
vibing.
you see, oh yeah, you guys see a distant structure. And Esther, you point to kind of Thorn in that direction, and it's big and horrifically yellow.
Rosalind, once she gets it from Thorn, looks to the others and says, "That castle seems unusually large, even for the distance. What do you think are the chances that this area was actually a giant's castle once upon a time, but either it didn't fly or it landed and then grew into the land?"
I don't think that's possible.
I wouldn't think so, but the
With a structure
enormous
that large.
insects are almost making me wonder.
If it was a giant castle, it wouldn't be that garishly yellow.
We can't say that
Look
for
at the
sure.
supplies in high demand around here.
Giants can be gaudy.
If you built a castle out of corn, you deserve to die.
If you live in a castle made of corn, you deserve to die as well.
Then let's go kill the person inside the castle of the corn.
I love that this is the closest thing to a black and white morality you guys have ever had.
Anything associated with the corn deserves to die.
Us as players love the Corn Palace. It's perfectly fine.
I would disagree.
Us as players also have a black and white morality about the Corn Palace. So
Also, this is a crack episode. We need to be honest here.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
canon, but it's completely just we all were on crack.
This is canon,
It's canon,
this is
but
also
arguably
crack.
compliant.
Yeah.
Dear lord. Alright, let's get the fuck into the corn. Anyways, steer the direction to the corn palace.
Oh, it's not hard to steer that way. It's pretty obvious.
I hate this.
As you guys start approaching it, actually, you notice it first on kind of like the crenellations of the top, because it is it's a palace, man. It's huge. It has exactly castle-like features.
Don't you mean the kernellations at the top?
I'm gonna kill you.
That one was actually pretty well done. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna fucking snap! Christ. Alright, back to your kernellations.
Actually, you are the first one to notice, and don't worry, we're not gonna go inside till John's back, anyways. Big god, Cornona. God damn it.
Fuck.
Actually, you notice that there's a number of strange weaponry that you vaguely recognize as cannon-shaped, but they're like giant cobs of corns on wheels.
Stop.
Keep going. Keep going.
And they're all pointed outwards and manned by these strange creatures, which are like. You know, I'll just show you the image that I
Show
have
us
saved.
the art. Show the players.
Show us the cursed image you found.
How bad is
crying.
it? Is it the guy?
Don't you mean corncur?
I thought you were gonna show a picture of the fucking Colonel dudes from the Cineplex movie show.
I thought you were gonna show the mascot of the corn.
No, he's the final boss.
God.
No, in order to be the Corn Palace, there has to be a statue of that mascot out front. And it needs
Okay.
to have two sides. So, a face
We're-
on each
we're getting
side
there.
so that you see him whether you're going in or going out.
Apparently,
Yes.
we're getting there.
There is no escape of the Corn Master.
Everything that's going on.
I thought, can the art of some of like these minions be like those like little popcorn dudes from like the Cineplex shows?
I didn't think of that one. That's a pretty good one.
They're the slaves. We free them.
I disagree there. I think they're not going to last very long with you guys around.
No.
I saw how hungry y'all are.
I'll eat them. I don't give a shit. Come here, brother. Alright, let's fucking...
Well, I'd say this qualifies for corn everywhere.
They have heavy, like,
Do they have
They ha-
artillery?
yeah, they have their own corn military.
Oh,
Corn?
let's see if we can find the Colonel.
Eloise, I realize that you are not Xenia per se, but how on earth? I learn
Please tell me,
surprising
Xenia.
things about you every day.
How is Xenia gonna fuck a river?
Esther's just gonna slowly look at Eloise and just, please tell me, Xenia did not fuck corn.
Did Xenia fuck?
That's not a question. I feel I'm not prepared to answer that. Ty, that's up to you.
That's why I stopped. I've had one character do that with a tree, and we're not going back to it.
Oh, that was early D&D. My God.
I thought there was like an agreement like a while ago. We never talk about that.
Oh, we are.
Well, we're talking about
And
it.
it's like shake your head.
Do
Nope.
it.
Like
Nope.
no,
Nope.
no, never.
At least, but do you know her memories now that you guys are separated?
The ones that are going on right now, no. But I have all the other past memories, and that's never happened before.
Well, then theoretically, how did she get in the Corn Palace?
Because there's an ex who I don't even consider an ex there, and he's
So-
insane, apparently.
Is there any way that you can contact Xenia to let her know that we're somewhere close by?
No, but apparently Xenia has fucking sending. Why does a druid have sending? I
Yeah,
don't even have
magic
sending.
items.
Magic item.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
What did I do with the other magic items? I have 3.
Conrad, do you know what what would probably break me?
I'm scared
you
to
had
find out.
No, if you had saved the vestige of Earth and you had put it in the Corn Palace. Conrad,
Okay, admittedly, that would be pretty fun.
here's the thing though, the vestige of air, there is such thing as air pop popcorn.
That's exactly what I was just thinking too.
No, don't, please, no!
Oh god, what is
There's gonna be Xenia and a vestige in the fucking corner.
If you want to get with current
Oh my
events,
God.
this area has been experiencing a lot of flooding, so a vestige of water wouldn't be out of place either right now.
I hate this so much. Alright,
Anyway,
let's approach the Corn Palace.
wait. Can Rosalind have Thorn try to... Somebody is chopping something.
Oh, apologies, I'll mute.
Okay.
Are you cooking dinner?
Yeah.
Alright, fair.
My mom said I have to cook dinner tonight.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, can Rosalind have Thorn try to stealth around, see if there's a way for him to get inside this palace? Some window or other?
Go for it. Have him roll stealth check, and then an investigation check.
Yep. She's gonna keep seeing through his eyes and ears, and she's kind of, yeah, if anything doesn't go well, he's sneaky.
Well then.
He's pretty sneaky.
Yep. Basically, if he gets attacked by anything, she intends to poof him out immediately.
A slippery boy.
Investigation, just intelligence, not great, but okay, that's an 11.
Okay, so his immediate thought is he could probably eat through the corn again, because
Oh my
the entire
God.
thing is it's just made of corn. Like there's no. It's like Willy Wonka but horrible.
I don't think this was a giant.
Rosalind advises him not to do that.
He kind of goes. You get like the mental image of like, yeah, meat's tastier. That being said, there's windows. There's lots of little vents. The top of the palace is man, or corned.
I know druids are vegan, but this is fucking ridiculous.
Can you get in a little
meat.
bit? Get in through a little vent. And just
Okay,
start
let me d20.
crawling around, flying about, seeing if he can find anything. 7.
Okay. What's his passive perception? Advantage on sight gives him +5.
Advantage would give him a passive of 18.
18? Okay. In that case, I'll say that he manages to avoid a couple of traps.
Okay.
But as he continues, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw for him,
Oh, no.
as he's kind of wandering through what seems to be a corn maze.
Oh,
Oh no. That was a 12.
fuck.
Alright. Yeah, so he saves against what basically is a symbol on the ground that goes off.
Rosalind is doing a play-by-play and just, oh, there are traps. There's a symbol on the ground. Something, I don't know what happened. Does it explode?
No, it goes off in like a flash. He makes a save. Make me a second one real quick.
Okay. 13.
Okay. The magic doesn't seem to take hold on him.
He has magic resistance.
Oh, that's true. He's good either way, though.
But yeah, just, that's something to keep in mind, I guess.
Yep.
Alright. Continues to look around, I suppose. Are there any rooms, or is this just purely a maze inside of the vents?
There are a number of small rooms, armories, which are filled with corn-themed weaponry and armor. There's a dining hall, in which it's all just various kinds of fertilizer.
No.
At one point, he comes into like a small, what looks to be an entertainment room, where there's a bunch of those corn warriors that you saw earlier, as well as what you're relatively certain is like a flying plant monster thing.
Hey, Conrad,
Yes.
what does corn-themed weaponry look like?
When you get
It's
there,
like
we'll
corn.
let you know, don't worry.
Wow.
I will say, I do have a great cob.
Stop! I fucking took psychic damage.
You asked.
This whole session is just gonna be corny puns. Get over it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Just
And
because I accept something doesn't mean I'm not allowed to overreact. I'm a player of D&D, goddammit.
that's fair. And also Nerd's good. So, as you continue on through, like I said, there's the soldiers and weird corn plant paper spirit thing, just playing cards and dominoes on a table.
The corn lord.
Past that, he doesn't find anything of particular interest.
Alright.
At one point, he does unfortunately set off another trap and needs to make me a dex save.
Magic
Ah,
or...
shit.
This is physical.
Okay. Oh, that's a 3.
Alright, unfortunately, as he's heading down, what looks to be a farmer's scythe drops in one of the hallways, and your connection ends with him.
Oh no!
Wait, can we pretend to be farmers?
Oh, I was gonna have him do something fun. Oh well.
Their natural enemy?
I don't know if that's true.
What advantage does that give us?
None,
just makes it
none
worse.
whatsoever. I was going to
It'd
have
be
him.
fun.
I was going to have him suggest that. Well, he can telepathically connect with any creature that can understand a language that I assume is possible with these. I was going to have him make them wonder if perhaps some fire had been left unattended, and maybe there was a little smoke in the air. That feeling of unease.
Oh, I can do that.
Yes, you can do that physically, for real, but there's a maze, there are traps. We're going to have to be very on our guard if we go in there, even if we're stealthy.
Wait, this whole place is made of corn, isn't it?
Okay, other question too.
Yes.
What is our objective here?
Get Xenia?
And we're sure
Hey.
Xenia is in there.
I mean, if I light the place on fire, we can find out very quickly.
Place on fire. Xenia's probably somewhere. Xenia can get out if they want to. They can fly. They can turn into a fucking bird or a spider and run.
Well,
Right,
then
right.
why did they call us for help?
That's why it's the X. I barely remember the fucker.
What
Wait.
X?
The gnome.
What?
I don't even consider him an X. It's the fucking gnome.
What's
Do-
happening again?
Okay, the gnome. What did the gnome do, in a sense? Like, was there any notable characteristics?
No. If there were any notable characters, they would have stayed with him longer than a fucking week.
Alright, so it was a week. How did it end?
Explosively. Like popcorn.
Yeah, probably. I think I just like.
Boo.
Oh, he's a gnome. He sleeps 8 hours. I left while he was sleeping.
Well, yeah, he's a bit spurned then, I'm assuming.
It's been more than 30 years, Esther.
Gnomes hold a grudge!
Also, it seems like you're still dealing with other problems that have been 30 years ago, so...
She was my fiance. I was with her for 9 years. I was with that gnome for a week.
That is true, also.
Doesn't change the fact that it's a problem right now.
Very much so.
So... Do we have any way to get in better contact with Xenia?
No. We've discussed this problem before.
Alright, well, what are the entrances? Did Thorn see any other entrances besides the front gates?
There are windows.
Then why don't we attempt to use the corn to our advantage?
Why don't we just go in and say, hey, we're looking for the name of the gnome, and see if that works.
Okay.
If you who can talk well, I can label this to Rosalind and...
Here's the thing. Out of character, I can roll well. I
Yeah, me too.
cannot do the talking for Rosalind that Rosalind
That's
did.
great, you still have the charisma, you're better than the rest of us.
Y'all saw me play hard
You're gonna be
because
expected.
Esther will fucking give it a crack.
Either way, he goes, could the more persuasive types, if you have an idea of how to get in the front door, then by all means. Otherwise, I think we're about to go guerrilla warfare on this.
I mean,
I'd like to know what we're doing first.
what if...
I could try.
Esther,
Yes?
you picked quite a bit of fruit and vegetables in the previous area.
How about an offering?
Gift basket. We're your new neighbors.
Maybe no
We've
corn.
come over to say hello and make our introductions.
I like that idea. I was going to go with somehow an introduction, but how about some 2-3 pose as neighbors? The others go around the other sides. Find windows, get in, we connect through Fane.
Let's split the party. Let's split the party.
No.
No.
Then we all go in at one point together.
Okay, and where's that point?
The front
Front
door.
gate.
If we have
Definitely.
time to just be friendly neighbors, there's no reason for us to act inconspicuous.
And if they
I will say this. If we do go to the front gate and they prove very inhospitable, then it may be best for some of us to, in fact, have stayed back and potentially go around the back and sneak in.
Why
That's
don't you-
fine. But sending any of you ahead without me would probably be not the best idea if you're in the direct line of fire.
Also, if
But-
You are... Sorry?
and it did say for you to look angry, so like,
Honestly,
You don't-
Ashta,
you are one of the stealthiest members of the party.
wait. This gnome is a spurned lover.
There's
Is
like
it
a
not?
don't.
there's like a slow blink, and he just looks and goes, "So you're telling me that while we're still in this forest, which I think we all know the reason why we're in this forest, you'd like me to let other people go ahead?"
Yeah, pretty much.
That's not happening.
You could hide near the gate.
Well, I'm going to go deliver a gift basket.
Alright, how are we doing this? All at once? It is rather a large group, but...
Maybe me, you, Rosalind, and you, Esther, and Ash just hide a little closer, and Fervus hide a little bit further back.
Here's the problem.
Sure.
If they are hospitable and invite us in to speak with the keeper of this castle, the owner, we can't just say, oh, by the way, our two friends, guards, whichever, are not at all suspiciously hiding in the forest, waiting to see how we are received.
We could just say they were waiting over there.
But if
We
that-
didn't
if
want to
that-
overwhelm them.
No, if that
But it
comes-
doesn't look
it doesn't look
honest.
good. No. So if it is inhospitable, it would be prudent to have that backup. However, if we are invited inside, then they cannot simply stroll out of the forest after us and would have to find another point of entry. Which I
should
think
still
is
split
Ashta's problem.
Don't
Well-
you? Do you have seeming, Rosalind?
I do.
That could maybe.
I don't believe we can seeming ourselves to appear as the corn people. I think that might
think
be a
that
bit
might-
suspicious, but...
Does anybody
anybody-
have a shrinking spell?
But if we, I don't think so.
No.
But if we all look different, can you
Wait.
like?
The pot!
I've got one enlarge reduce and we do have the pot.
Get
So
in the
I'm
pot!
pretty sure Rayla has a polymorph.
Yorilla has polymorph. I have polymorph. I have the wand of polymorph.
Oh,
There we go.
you do.
Make us into corn people!
They can't turn into people, but we
No,
can turn people into like
Animals.
animals. Like this is our dog.
Alright, Ashta. Because you are kind of scary and we don't want to offset these people right away, what animal would you like to be turned into?
You want to put the person with the most firepower and the ability you can to negate damage you would be taking.
I can drop the spell to drop that.
And they can drop heavy corn ordnance on us at the drop of a hat.
Well, if he drops
Would
heavy
you-
corn on you, then you're turning back into Ashta.
How good are you at talking to people, Ashta?
You know, like stretched back, I said, I mean,
In a friendly manner.
yeah, like rubs the bridge of his nose. Like, I've gotten by. Out of character, +1 charisma.
Yeah.
No proficiencies.
Which is fair. Oh my god.
Truly, I think it might be easier for everybody. That's all.
So what's the downside then of all of us just walking up there?
We are a very oddly large group to be coming over and say, let us introduce ourselves. We are an unusually diverse group, though seeming can take care of that.
The only ones of us that immediately look as if we could have any sort of relation would be myself and Fervus.
I mean,
Maybe.
we
You could
don't.
always- You could always just send us two in first, and everybody else finds a way inside.
I feel like that's the worst plan.
It is the worst plan, but I'm trying to give options.
So,
Good
as
thing
you
the
guys are
horse stopped.
discussing, you see one of the corn soldiers start to kind of jog your direction with a big smile on his face.
Oh, hell.
Well, seems the primary then. I put that
Esther's
basket
gonna-
anyway.
Quickly take out the food from her basket.
You can roll sleight of hand to make a basket, and like a food basket.
Ah, shit.
Can I help? No, wait, I
Sure.
don't think I have sleight of hand.
Honestly,
That's okay.
she would
I
just
assume-
wrap it up in cloth.
I mean, just like speed.
Fuck.
Yeah, take advantage because I'll say Rosa can help you with this. It's not a particularly difficult task.
If anything, I still just throw it in like a fucking sack of cloth. We're poor farmers.
No, that's not what we were going for. That's not what Rosalind is.
Alright. So we'll use that first of those two rolls. So it'll be a 13. So you make a basket. Make a basket with some food in it. And as the corn folk walks up to you, kind of like waving his arm, which is... It looks like a person skipped bicep day but only had forearm day.
I don't like it.
But it's all just corn.
Stop.
Which
Please.
He kind of like doesn't say anything and like gestures for you guys to like come with him, like friendly, like almost like a bow and like the two arms to the side.
Insight
Go for it.
on this
Roll insight.
corn.
Can I?
Yes, go for it.
It might be too much, but can I?
10.
Never mind.
What was that, Roslyn?
I was gonna offer like feign support in that because diplomacy, but might be too late. He's already rolled.
I'll say you could roll your own.
Sure. Yeah, 17.
Okay. Forgive the pun, but he looks like he has like a sunny disposition and is being very welcoming.
Well, thank you. I'm sorry, but do we have a language in common?
It nods to you but says nothing.
So you do understand us then?
Nods again.
Well, we are new to the neighborhood and we wanted to come show our respects. So we brought you this.
Could you roll me a deception check?
Shit, fuck, I gotta run back to the computer.
It's all freshly picked. Apologies for the presentation.
Please tell me the corn isn't smart.
It takes the basket happily and starts leading you ahead.
Oh, good.
Just a quick fade around. I don't like this.
It was like shakes their head too and just like, well, at least we can go in.
It's the only option we have.
Quick feign over to Ashta. I know you don't. You very rarely do, but that's why we have you to keep an eye out.
Does the corn guy have weapons on him at all? Corn themed or otherwise?
Yeah. No very obvious weapons, but you're trained enough in finding it. Seems to have a couple of those bombs that look like Fergus's on his belt. Also, the arms look strong and very capable of damage.
He gives a whip
it's-
around, just telling everyone that.
And you notice as it walks, actually, like every step it takes, like its feet kind of like to the ground for a second, and then like pull up and like keep going like that.
Does it remind him of any other creature by any chance? Like, is this a weird spin on some sort of creature?
Roll a nature check.
I'm not good at those. 10.
I want you to argue it's anything other than nature in this case.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Just
They remind me of blights.
It's a living plant. You wouldn't be surprised if they're related to blights distantly, but blights aren't friendly.
Yep.
As well, they're usually not rooted. They're magically attuned to trees, but
And what about something like an awakened shrub, etc.?
yes, maybe something along those lines.
Is
You would know
it
them.
distinctly plant-like species?
Yes, it's definitely plant species.
Okay.
I will say it's corn. It has roots. It's plant.
All right.
It's
Um,
rooted in this campaign now.
Stop.
Rosalind
yeah,
is
as
up
you
front,
guys-
still talking and asking, I know it's short notice, but would it be possible to meet the master of this castle? We have been looking forward to it. And just trying to keep attention away from her probably suspicious friends.
Yep, and it makes like kind of like gestures that you can try to interpret.
Okay.
Roll me just a intelligence check with advantage because you're really good with languages.
Yeah. Intelligence, there it is, 16.
Yeah, you get something along the lines of, it's happy to see you, let's show you around. But to the master, nothing specific.
The maze of the house.
Master's busy.
As you guys kind of continue walking through and up to the front entrance, it is flanked by corn guards. And as you kind of go in, there's a sign that says, please sign your name and what title you would like us to call you as you enter the house of the corn master. And there's just like a little entry book with a very fancy corn-shaped quill.
Of course it's corn shaped. Rosalind, as she's going to kind of feign to the group, what should we call ourselves?
Choose a name related to yours, but don't put your true name down. I don't know if there's anything otherworldly.
If there's anything even adjacent to Faye, you do not put your real name down.
He's gonna like look at the sign-in sheet. Is Xenia's fucking name there?
It is.
God, is it Xenia's name?
Yeah, Xenia's,
That's idiot.
It's Xenia Talsent. And then the title next to it, it's the name that they picked basically to be called is "Oh God, please help."
Well,
Oh, boy.
Okay, Idris will go up, pick up the quill. Just
Okay.
put like ear on it, like IRE,
Sure.
and then beside the name I want to be called, put "Oh God, please help, Junior."
All right.
Esther will go up for her name. She'll just put her last three letters, so Y-E-R.
You're.
You're. Well, not even the last three letters. She'll just put Y-E-R.
That's not the last letter. Her last letters are her.
I know. I realized. And then to like the title of wanting to be called, she kind of stalls for a moment and then just very slowly just writes onks and then looks at Ashta and smiles because he has made fun of her siblings' names.
All right. Purvis, what are you writing? No, Purvis. John.
John?
Yeah.
You-
Sorry.
On the
We're over here, buddy. Catch up.
Sorry.
You're way across the room there.
Yeah.
in the entryway to the Corn Palace, what are you writing on the sign-in sheet for your name and what you would like to be called?
Purvis Flare.
All
I
right.
love it. He was across the room. He has no idea.
Yep.
Looking around.
All right. And Ashton, what are you writing, if anything?
Just Carson.
Okay.
Of course he does. That fucking dick.
And Rosalind.
Rosalina.
I'm thinking she might go with like her middle name, which never comes up anymore.
Hmm.
So she's just gonna write Alba.
Alba.
It's in her name.
I know. I'm just repeating it.
All right. So as you guys sign us in, you each feel a pulse of magic.
Of course.
And now, as you kind of look around, the corn people are talking to each other and very clearly understood. And the one who had escorted you in kind of says, "Oh, I'm so glad you guys have finally come in. Welcome to the Corn Palace. To answer your question, you will eventually get to meet the King Cobb, don't worry. And
King
don't
Kebab.
worry. Not King Kebab, King Cobb.
Conrad.
Actually, Mr. Corn, what's your name?
Oh, I don't have a name. I'm just a simple lowly corn soldier.
Maze.
Okay, Mason.
Mason, stop.
I'm looking for someone who was like visiting here, but like I don't know where they are.
Ah, your older sibling.
Yeah,
So
oh god,
they're-
please help. Yeah, oh god, please help.
Yeah. Yes, they're further inside. Don't worry, they already went through the whole experience.
Experience.
We have to go through an experience?
Well, yes, you have to get to the King Cob somehow. I want to show you the different ways that corn has been used in the past times and how it relates to the Druid culture, where the experiment went wrong for us to be created, and also what went right and how it's been wonderful since then. There's a whole culture to corn that I think you would love to experience.
There's a quick message in Fane from Ashton, just like, I'm gonna tear this fucking place down.
Esther feigns over to Ashta. Are you sure I can't burn it down?
So how long does this experience sort of last? Before I can see, like, oh god, please help.
Well, that depends. How long do you guys want to be here? It's 1 gold each to be here for the 1 hour experience, but for the whole day package, it's only a simple 3 gold per person.
Wait,
Will I be able to go see my siblings after we pay the 1 gold?
Oh yeah, don't worry. We'll get there.
What?
It's like,
how long is the
Go ahead and roll
corn
insight.
experience?
1 hour, or there's an all-day package.
28.
They are so excited to show you all about corn.
Aw, you know what? I
What's
don't
the-
want to hurt their feelings now.
And they actually mean that you will be able to go see
Yeah.
Xenia.
No, they are being completely and disgustingly honest.
You can pay the 1 gold, it's only an hour.
There's like a thing on the Fane of like there's the ding of the Fane starting, but there's just dead silence for a few seconds. He's just like, they are disgustingly honest.
That's good, it's better than lying.
I almost think it's worse.
Well, we might as well pay for the experience.
Now we get to learn about corn.
Who knows? Agriculture might be fun.
1 hour isn't too much, and we could learn something.
Why would Xenia be here needing help if this was all okay?
I don't know!
Feign over play along. And Rosalind's gonna hand over 1 gold for herself.
I think I just lost
Alright.
my
Esther,
You had the
Esther will
1
hand
gold.
over 1 gold.
Do I have 1 gold? Give me a second.
Esther grits his teeth and pulls out a gold and hands it over, and it's like, I'm pretty sure this is probably what got Xenia in here in the first place.
Oh, I have 2 gold. I hand 1 over.
Fergus, you're handing over a gold?
I suppose? He hands over a gold.
Alright. It's all taken and collected in a small, kind of like a dice bag, but it's like the stitching on the outside is all kernels.
Of course it is.
And wrapped up in this, like the corn leaf. Like the husk. It's
I'm gonna have
put
a
behind-
mental breakdown!
It's a mental breakdown.
Life is a
So,
prison.
this is what intentional isolation does to everyone, guys.
Self-quarantine.
Yeah.
Self-quarantine,
Life
that's
is a
what I'm trying to say.
party, and I am a pinata.
No, that's later, don't worry.
Life is a party and I'm a piano filled with corn!
I am a Barbie doll, and God is an angry 4-year-old child ripping my limbs off.
Well, see, that's just D&D.
God, I wish that were me.
God, it was over me. Okay, and Esther
So-
will just kind of look and go, so, show us the experience.
So happy to see you. And they hand you each a hat that has, like, a caricature of these corn men's face to put on.
Esther is going to cast Identify really quick just to make sure this isn't magic or mind control.
It's just a hat.
Okay, well, in that case, snap fingers, the flames go out on her head, and she puts on the hat. Her hair is a
It's not
What?
a large amount by any means, but you're pretty sure there's, like, a very tiny amount of, like, oil in your hair now.
Rosalind
Awesome.
feigns around to like the group at large, with the words, "Xenia owes us for this," and she puts on her hat.
Oh,
Yeah, they do!
Xenia already owed us so much.
I feel like
Xenia
Xenia, like,
For this
feel like
in
Xenia-
particular.
I feel like Xenia owed you guys the minute, like, they stabbed a sword into their soul.
That's 1/4 of you, and so don't even start.
I'm doing the bargain right now.
I've come to bargain.
Fergus, put on your corn hat.
Fine.
Also, as a response to you, at least the punishment should be more than equal.
I'm trying here.
Might I add a bit of character flavor?
Bring the other two in.
You see that as Esther's hair is no longer on fire, there are numerous gray streaks in her usually red hair, and that is all.
Interesting. Okay.
And as you guys enter the Corn Palace and enjoy the experience, all the ceilings are vaulted. The architecture, gaudy as the color scheme and theme is, the architecture is fantastic. Like, you're pretty sure this could survive most wars that didn't involve a good shucking. Like,
Stop!
it's a palace. It is a genuinely well-built palace. And
How
you brought
resistant to
through...
fire does it look?
Good question. Roll... First,
wisdom?
go ahead and roll me an alchemy check. For, like, flammability and, like, makeup of corn.
Esther
Okay.
knows it's flammable.
So, I get.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'll do that. And oh wow, I got a natural one on that
You
one.
can feign it.
Oh yeah, I'll feign that. I'll feign that. Yeah, fuck it.
Alright, mark off the point.
Yeah, no problem. That's 20.
Wow, dichotomy, good lord. That's like a 34 total because of the rounded half points.
You're just rolling a d2.
Yes.
Corn, while slow to burn, like slow to light, will burn, especially if the husks are still around. You also notice that there's a lot of oil around that is explosively flammable, probably. And also a lot of butter, which is also very flammable. But
Yeah,
There's butter everywhere.
he'll lean over to he'll feign over to Ashta. Pretty flammable, quite flammable.
So, as you guys go through, they show you if you guys ever been to like a really weird history museum that everyone is way too enthusiastic, that's exactly what this is.
I know it is, and I hate it.
It's like if Mr. Gamuniak was showing you around a museum.
I don't like
But here's the thing, Mr. Gomeniak is an absolute sweetheart, and we love him.
And also not
I
made of
know,
corn.
and so are these corn people, apparently.
He's made of corn. These are corn.
So, as we continue on, and you guys go through, they first show you like the history and the magic, and actually some pretty good details on how the spell was cast to make all this happen, and like the rituals involved. Any like magic practitioners, you actually do gain a pretty good amount of knowledge on plant-based magic.
Woo!
Can
Regardless of
Esther
your-
take notes?
Can
Yeah.
can Rosalind take notes?
Yeah, all of you guys can. Any spellcaster, which I believe is all of you, you have advantage on your next nature check or arcana check that has to do with plants.
I'll take that.
I thought you were gonna say you have advantage on your next corn-based magic.
Nature
If
check.
Esther-
I want you to remove what you just wrote.
What did Tyler write?
Just a very small rad after the word corn.
Again, there doesn't need to be the extra R.
Oh, just
You just
out of
switched the letters.
curiosity.
Yep.
If Esther takes proper notes, can this spell be repeated?
Go ahead and roll an arcana check if you want to use your advantage here. Go for it.
What is wrong with you?
Bro, if I got an army of fucking corn, don't even.
This is the exact thing we're trying to... Remember when we walked in here and we said this is why the druid should be stopped? This is why you need to be stopped.
Yeah.
Give me that arcana check, Esther.
I just did.
So, this was basically created by a number of spellcasters casting an upscaled plant growth, combined with some other like nutritious spells and some animate spells. You'd basically need 4 casters capable of one of a series of spells, each casting a different one at 9th level.
Okay, and what would the spells be?
One of which is plant growth at 9th level, or a similar spell that does a similar effect. One
Okay.
is awaken. I think it's called awaken, that like awakens plants.
Mm-hmm.
Another is, it's kind of a modified earthquake spell where it's about terraforming and making the earth ready to accept this. And then a basically upscaled version of planar binding, which would bind all the creatures to this location and plane of existence.
Beautiful, thank you.
So, with this you go through, they show you one room where there's a corn cow that produces just pure butter.
It's already sure.
It's already churned. There's one that produces salted, one unsalted.
Does
There's
one
one that's-
produce dill?
No, one produces a low fat and one produces a dairy free.
Thank you. I was just about to ask. Is that what I'm
It's made
going
from a cow! What do you mean dairy free?
That's a wonderful question. These are fucking corn cows, dude. It's as plant-based as a cow can get.
I was gonna say, is there not like base oil?
Yeah, basically.
Are they not just making I can't believe it's not butter?
Pretty much.
It's like Schrodinger's cow. It's just in a box.
Yeah. And they hand you samples if you guys would like to taste.
No.
Yes.
Which one are you tasting?
Salted.
Salted? Alright. As you taste it, it's very tasty. You can heal 1d4 HP. If you already have full, you can do it as temporary hit points. And you have advantage on your next intimidation check, as the salt is part of you now.
I'm gonna
God,
check.
it's Ashta.
I'm gonna try.
Can-
I corn believe it's not butter.
Alright, go ahead. You take it. Again, 1d4, either temporary or healing, your choice. As you taste it, you feel like very healthy in doing so. You have basically a what's it called? A bless spell on your next Constitution saving throw.
Unsalted?
Okay.
You have the unsalted. You actually heal 1d8 temporary or fully. What's it called? Temporary or heal.
Okay.
What about the low fat one?
Or are you taking 2 samples?
Yes.
Alright. They do ask you that if you're going to take a second sample, they charge you a silver piece.
Okay.
Was there any other effect on the unsalted?
Nope, it's just extra
Okay.
healing.
Got it.
And with the low-fat one, you drink it, 1d4 healing, and
Nice.
once in the next minute, you can take a dash as a bonus action.
Damn. Alright. Curiosity, she'll ask, do you guys sell any of this?
Oh yeah, there's actually, we'll show you on the way out, there's a gift shop.
There's a little shop.
Wonderful.
Actually, because you guys seem to be in a conversation, it seems like you guys want to meet with the King Cobb as an extended stay. We'll make sure you get there before you go talk to him. And as they show you to the next room, they say, and from here, this is the maze.
Of course it is.
Corn maze
Does
inside of a...
this look like we're thorn puffed?
No, this is, he got through here pretty easily. Actually, Brosnan, you would probably have a pretty decent overhead view of this.
Huh.
So they say, so we're gonna let you guys through here. We have some of our other employees on the other side. We'll meet you there, and they close the door behind you.
Rosalind feigns to the others, just, I might know the way through. Follow me, but I'll let you know if I get lost. And can she try to figure out from that overhead view?
Yeah. Easy enough to do. Combination of the feign and the fact that Thorn sense specifically images. Yeah, you get through without much issue at all. Just give me actually, because of Ash, you technically have no way to get lost.
Yay!
So, yeah, you're all right.
We set a new record.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much. At one point, you guys do step on a trap, however, because none of your passives were high enough. Roll me a d6 to see who it is.
Passive's 20.
Yeah.
What?
21. So who wants to roll the d6? Who hasn't?
Can
I
I?
have it. Oh, let's go for it, Sky.
Thank you.
Alright, so Fervus.
Uh-oh.
You step on a small trap, which was basically a small symbol on the ground. And as you hear the magic go off, you go, oh no. And you are just suddenly absolutely basted in butter.
Oh,
Oh no.
There's a slight shaking to Fervus. Of like,
that is a little
you're
oily,
really-
buddy. What kinds of the butter is it?
Just taking a taste.
You just literally drag the finger up to the side of his face.
Yeah, run the finger like down his cheek and just lick it.
It's just normal butter.
Oh. Ugh,
Why?
butter!
Hold. No,
No.
Rosalind,
no,
you have
just
the thing,
hold
don't you?
on, and she prestidigitations over and over to get the butter off it.
Yeah,
That's
Like a
so-
squeegee.
Yep, and Purvis, you are cleaned cleaner than you were before. Actually, some of the dirt and grime from the previous fight is all cleaned off you.
Huh. Thank you.
Overall, though, you still swear you can feel it in your pores.
So he probably just still smells of it.
Oh yeah, he just smells like butter now.
Esther's just gonna kind of lean over and whisper to Fervus.
The moment I
dare.
get. What?
Don't you dare.
No.
Don't you dare.
I said
Don't.
I'm not going to make a joke.
Let her talk.
He's gonna walk off.
All right, are you walking off without the person who's guiding you through a maze?
No, he's following the person from the maze. He's just distancing himself from Esther.
Good luck.
Like-
Oh, ouch.
So you walk off about
Alright.
5 feet ahead of her.
Yeah.
Hey, Esther, you have Fane. We're just gonna look, don't you have Fane, Esther?
I do, but I was just going to give a word of encouragement, and she looks actually hurt.
Well, and Idwis gives, like, her little side hug. Say it through Fane. And so he can hear it. And you can say it to me, too.
It's alright. Let's just keep going.
And it was just, like, just so ruffle her hair a little bit.
Fervus is the grumpy teenager on this family-friendly trip.
Yes, and he especially doesn't like, and he especially doesn't like it when it seems like he's being talked down to.
Esther wasn't trying to talk down. She was gonna
But
say the
he-
moment
he
I get
gets
the
it.
go ahead.
He
Yeah,
is
he's
the
just
grumpy
gonna-
teenager.
He
Yep.
is.
Keyword when it seems he's being talked down to.
Yes.
Esther's
He's-
gonna look to her
Hold
and
on,
go.
really quick. Fervus, what's your insight bonus?
Insight.
Yes.
Fuck, what? +3.
+3? Yeah, no. Esther's, like, passive mom is higher than your insight. I'll say that, like, even with, like, your grumpiness, after a second of you walk by, you kind of, like, get past the anger, and you go, like, it's just Esther, she's not trying to be condescending. Like, you're aware that it wasn't meant to be that way.
Okay.
'Cause,
he
yeah,
was
Esther,
kinda-
what's your
he was just
mom
kinda
bonus?
Frustrated from the butter
My-
trap, like someone coming up to him and like, "Oh, you're gonna say a snide comment now, aren't you?"
My mom bonus is
Sort of
plus
deal.
12.
Oh,
Yeah, so
goodness.
Esther's passive mom is 22.
Goodness.
So, yeah, you feel a little bit of guilt as you walk away and kind of, like, look back to her.
Esther just kind of looks at Earwis and goes, all I was going to say was the moment I get the go ahead, I'll burn this place to ashes.
And so I just, like, hold their stomach a little bit and just bend down. Like, okay, that was good. That was good. Don't get yet. Okay, maybe just don't.
We drag Zinni out first.
Correct.
Yes. Now, to that end,
Alright.
I think the exit's right over there.
Yep. And you guys step through, and there's like a small thing of confetti. Like, wow, you guys got through that really fast. What's your? You guys like? You guys do mazes very often, or are you secretly like a minotaur in disguise or something?
We're just very good at mazes and directions.
So aren't Minotaurs infamous for not being able to get out?
Well, they're naturally able to get through mazes. They just choose not to. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. In Greek mythology, yes, they have difficulties getting out, but in D&D, no, they don't.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
They still don't get out, though.
Yeah, but
No,
then
they
there's
don't
a
leave.
choice.
Yeah. They're the masters of the mazes. They have no reason to leave. And here, in the Master of Mazes maze, you
Stop.
continue on.
Stop.
I could if I want to. This is a lifestyle.
Fervus,
Out of my
is that you?
maze, Mom.
What do I mean? God.
Get out of my maze. I'm playing Minecraft.
Alright.
Alright.
So,
Right.
as you guys continue on, you brought into one last kind of like show-off room, and it is the maze ball. You see a number of corn folk in what looks to me like the corn equivalent of historical garb.
Cornolio.
Oh, I thought you were talking like corn on the orb.
No. Like, they're like in like Civil War-esque corn clothes. And
Again.
dancing while music is playing on someone who's playing a violin with these like fibrous insides of a corn against like a giant, seemingly bow-shaped like scythe. And they're just like running it against it, and it's playing this not great music, but like it's very upbeat, and that everyone's dancing to it. And there's like a buffet table with like corn on the cob, buttered corn, cream
That's
corn,
cannibalism. What the fuck?
corn cake, cornbread, and a huge, unbelievably large bowl of popcorn. And corned
Esther's
beef.
looking between the corn people and the table
Classifies cannibalism.
and just, this is cannibalism.
But this classifies that?
I don't think cornbread actually has corn in it. It's just cornstarch.
Oh,
Wait.
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 Corn.
Don't think too hard there.
If cornstarch is made of corn,
I need
then what's
Soylent Green is made of people.
Oh,
What if they didn't know? What if they didn't know all the food here was made of them? They just didn't realize, and we just like shattered their black beer.
Don't tell
This
me.
is through fame.
one of the corn
This is
folk
through fame.
I was gonna say, one of the corn folk go, "Don't worry. This is just how nature is. Plants die and we just absorb the nutrients all the time. This is just expediting the process."
You don't
And they
need
just keep going.
Okay, fair enough.
He says with like 1,000 yards there, it's like, we
Wait,
all
are
go
you
to
just
destroy it
saying-
eventually.
Are you just? Is there just corn underneath that? And it was just like calling back out.
They put like, I mean, I'd ask you not to ask what's beneath my corn clothes, but like, yes.
Senior, what the fuck?
Esther's gonna
Oh,
look at
gosh.
Ashton and just go, well, at least they're not inhospitable.
I will remove your kneecaps and bash your eyeballs with.
Like,
I've been holding
Stop.
onto that joke.
Take inspiration.
I already
Yeah.
have inspiration.
fuck you.
We all should have used that
Alright.
inspiration. Son of a fuck.
I've had that joke saved for the last 20 minutes. I've been waiting.
Worth it.
Yeah, okay. Well done.
Alright, despite looking a little bit more pleased with this room, Rosalind will, is their guide still there?
Yeah, and they're like, kind of like as you guys are talking through the phone to each other, they're explaining like, yeah, if you guys want to take part of the dance here, it's free of charge, you don't count towards your time. Just a way to enjoy and take a break here if you'd like.
Unfortunately, we may be in
Rosalind?
a little bit of a hurry, and she's looking around at the others. Do they look like they're in a hurry?
Yeah.
Esther does not.
Asher looks tired.
Idris looks at Rosalind. Make him wait.
Good point.
Esther's gonna go up to Rosalind. I taught you how to dance. Can you teach me?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Sir, I know where you live.
No, you don't.
I'll find out.
So Rosalind
I will
starts...
break quarantine.
Corn and tea.
Quarantine.
No!
Rosalind starts to try to teach Esther whatever dance they're doing. I assume Rosalind probably knows.
Square dancing. Probably
It's
inevitably.
it's a modified dance that's native to this area.
Yeah.
Square
You know it
dance.
very well.
Yeah, Rosalind is teaching Esther, and if Idris wants to learn just to make Xenia wait, then by all means.
Yep, 100%.
You guys dance in crop circles.
Hmm.
That was fucking good, actually, Ashton.
I'm gonna kill him.
No, take inspiration. That was pretty good.
You are the biggest hypocrite, Sky.
You know what? You know what? Rosalind is going to go ahead and decide that Ashta looks too grumpy and drag him into it.
That means we have to drag Fergus in too, because he's fucking grumpy too.
Yeah.
Circle dance.
Esther's going nowhere near Fergus.
Idris will like stand in between them and hold both their hands.
She has been snapped at once. She does not want it again.
Asher's
First, you
like,
notice this, and once more, you feel just a little bit guilty.
A little bit of guilt, yeah.
after
We'll
like
bring it
like
up.
Asher's pulled on, and there's just, like he moves, but the boots of the armor are just a bit like for a second.
Here's the thing: you do that. Unfortunately, you're on corn kernels, so that just pops them.
Huh.
Oh, God.
So you're just damaging the floor as you drag your feet.
Ashta, you're destroying the architecture.
Come on, pick up your feet, and she's going to tap one of his with the side of hers.
Come on, you're not rooted to the floor. Let's go.
All right.
Alright. And you all dance, and you have a good time. Fervus, as grumpy as you may be. It's
Yeah.
if you choose to let yourself go. It's
Uh,
kind of dumb and fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
At one point, they kind of like start doing the thing where you guys start swapping partners, and Fervus and Esther, you end up face to face. What are you guys doing?
Sick.
Sick.
Esther's just She's not saying anything, but you can tell she's not uncomfortable, but nervous.
Fervus gives a shrug. He's very fickle with his emotions, so he's just sort of like, yeah.
I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to upset you. It
Okay.
wasn't my intention.
It's okay. I know you mean well.
I wasn't trying to give you a jab or a remark. I was trying to agree with you in destroying this place.
I was
She
talked
whispers
down
the
to
last
for
part.
13 years of my 17-year life. You can understand why I'm hesitant to taking advice.
I know. I was belittled for most of my childhood. I was treated horribly, in fact, by somebody who, by all laws of nature, was supposed to love and protect me.
Been there.
I know what it's like. Trust me. Not all these scars came from battle. And she leaves it at that.
Yeah.
Real quick, I bash her real quick. See how bad he does in dancing.
Go for it.
Oh, come on, Rosalind's given him lessons before.
Exactly.
MC
So let's see if they're working.
Alright, everyone give me a performance check.
Oh,
for
Lord.
If you would like to if you would like to instead substitute dexterity for your charisma, you may, but
Using that inspiration, what does it do?
it gives you advantage.
Alright, we're gonna use the one inspiration, because
6.
God knows.
Yeah.
Luis nor Xenia have ever been able to dance well, so that tracks.
Can I give like a like?
Fuck!
Oh no!
Can I throw a performance
Bad
on top
dancer
of
gang.
the? Ooh, 5. Ooh.
No, it's basically performance. If you'd like to add performance proficiency, and then your dex bonus or your charisma bonus, it's up to you.
Okay. I just wanted to like I just want to see how like stilted it is. Like he's not stepping on toes, but I want to see if he's actually like taking anything. So to say.
I'll say the dexterity kind of covers that, because it is still a performance check, just using a dexterity modifier.
All right.
Yeah, so, Ashta, you're doing not bad. You're not keeping up with Rosalind, but she's not completely wiping the floor with you. Anyways, you're, like, matching the corn people. Like, you can tell, like, some of the ones who aren't part of this exhibit usually. They're, like, trying to teach you how to put notes and things to do, but they're not great either. They don't have feet. So...
Wait, what?
They don't have feet, they have roots.
What?
They have, I told you, they have legs and roots that just, like, dip into the ground.
I didn't hear that the first time.
Yeah, that was when you guys first walked in. Fergus and Esther, after your kind of, like, awkward conversation, your dancing is just not good.
It's just abysmal.
Can
It's
Esther
just not
end
good.
up devolving from the dance that Rosalind taught her to just back to the dancing that she knows?
Yeah, you do, and the core people give you a weird look, but they kind of, like, try to join you and, like, do their best to join it. Kind of like one of those weird circles that do, like, around, the awkward kid, and everyone's kind of, like, super into it. They're kind of just trying to be friendly.
Oh my god, it's me. What the fuck? Don't give me that flashback from the fucking grade 8 dance. Shit!
The Corn Palace is only here for trauma, Sky. You know this.
No, Tyler was there! Tyler was there!
Xenia was there. It's for trauma.
Speaking of Xenia, after we've wasted enough of their time, we should probably go and
Yep.
rescue them.
Yeah, as you guys continue on, a little bit sweaty, but, you know what? Yeah, you're in a good mood. Does anyone try the food?
I'll have a bite of the popcorn since you didn't have any of the samples.
Yeah, you have some of the popcorn. It's, like, really good popcorn, actually. There's, like, little bowls that they give you that you can take your own little handful, and, like, kind of like the salts on the side that are flavored that you can sprinkle on yourself. It's really good popcorn, really nicely cooked. The butter is fantastic.
Popcorn with garlic salt. Popcorn with
Yeah.
garlic salt.
Exactly that, yeah. It's really good. Yeah.
Just to rub salt in the wound. Really, for Xenia. It was just gonna, like, heap a bowl of popcorn, just start eating it.
Yep. Yeah, both of you. It's really tasty. The crunchiness is really nice, actually, and you feel your mouth feels very. Usually, after you eat popcorn, you get like little like pieces of
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit of dry mouth, and you get like the little splinters of seed like poking you. It's strangely the opposite feeling. It's a very soothing taste. You have to the next piercing damage you take resistance.
Hey!
Huh.
Can Esther try the cornbread?
Yeah, you have the cornbread. It is weighty and deliciously tasty.
I love cornbread. That's a Sky fact. Sky loves cornbread.
Yeah, there's a little bit of the corn butter that you can spread onto it. Not to
Yes!
give the major effects of the corn butter, but the combination of that, it's very comforting. The next strength check or saving throw you make, you advantage.
Wow, that's a rarity for Esther.
Huh. I think we've
Ben-
wasted
Ben?
enough seniors' time.
Let's go.
We should come back for the popcorn though. Hopefully they.
Oh, let's go here. And Idris will like sort of just show him the bowl. Idris has just kernel by kernel smile it. Wait, like
Hopefully they sell the popcorn at the shop.
Idris like
Yes!
intentionally leaving some popcorn in the bowl for when they do see Xenia.
And
Yeah,
as you
he'll,
guys-
like Fergus will come over with like a small, cause like he has like his alchemy kit, like with like a small like thing, and just like throw a bit of more popcorn into the bowl.
And as you guys kind of are told that, like, okay, if you guys want to get moving, we can now. Oh, that was a fun sound.
Yeah.
Also, as those guys, real quick, as those guys are eating, Ash just gonna give a quick, like, paranoid-ish glance around the room, just like, anything weird, anything watching them, anything.
Anything weird? Yes, everything.
Anything,
But,
anything out of the horrific norm of this place is.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Going to.
Not really. It's a tourist trap.
No, I don't like that. What that meaning of that could be.
No, like, in the most literal form. Like, it's just a place where tourists are meant to go and, like, meant to have a fun time.
Okay.
With a bunch of freaky magic corn people.
Conrad, you can't say the word trap in this
I realized that after I said it, yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? It's a trap!
Why is Xenia here?
It's a tourist trap, you can tell by the gift shop and also the giant spike pit that ends in a ritual altar.
It's how we
Yeah.
summon more corn.
Alright, so, as you guys are kind of chauffeured back towards the path you're meant to go, they show you one more room of just like, and these are the ways that we cooked all that food you just saw, and a little bit of ingredients. Anyone who's curious with cooking can, like, write down the
Yes,
recipes.
yes.
Yeah, you're not sure how well you'd be able to replicate it because they use a lot of really specific ingredients, but, yeah, looks okay.
Namely corn.
Yeah, the corn, but very specific versions of corn, and, like, breeds of corn that you guys were told about earlier.
Can
and
Esther take kernels from, like, the outside before we leave?
You'll have
So
to
that
see-
way
you
we
mean, like, specifically this room?
No, like kernels from, like, just the outside.
When we get back outside, you can try it.
Yes, because she would like to grow corn.
Alright. So, as you guys finish up in this room, they say, and you guys meet the King Cobb soon. But for now, if you guys would like to enter the gift shop, we have a number of things you could buy.
Yes. Yeah,
of course we sell popcorn.
Do you sell?
Like ready made.
Yeah. Or stuff that you can heat up yourself, too.
I'll take the heat up, the ones that you can heat up, just
Sure.
for later.
And
We do it by weight. How much would you like?
5 pounds.
Sure. And they basically give you a 5-pound bag full of popcorn seeds and say, that'll be 12 gold pieces, please.
Perfect. And he'll hand over 12 gold pieces.
Conrad.
Continuing. Oh, sorry.
No, so this is a gift shop, right?
Yes.
Are there any of those like really exuberantly priced like
Yes.
stuffed animal corn things that you can
Yes.
get? Yes.
Yes, they're everywhere.
Do they
Yes.
have like
T-shirts,
butter?
And a T-shirt. How
That's
much
my
is
idea, goddammit!
He's like putting
the
stuff in his
t-shirts?
like bag of holding. He's just like,
Yep. The t-shirts are 5 gold each. The stuffed things are based on size, the largest being 25 gold pieces each.
What about the
But
But they're
small?
like, the smallest are about 10.
And how
But
big
How
are
much is
they?
the
Pretty-
he
Like a
needs
big teddy
seeds,
bear.
butter, and
How
seasoning.
much are the T-shirts again?
The t-shirts are 5 gold pieces each.
Okay, I'm gonna give them 3 platinum for the biggest fucking stuffed animal and the T-shirt.
Oh my god.
Go ahead and add giant corn stuffed animal and corn t-shirt to your inventory.
How big is the smallest one, sorry?
Like a pretty sizable teddy bear.
Alright, small one it is. We know who's gonna get the corn.
Yep, mark it off.
10 gold. And,
The
they
butter
have
is
just,
as
like-
much as you would like.
how much butter?
As much as you would like. They have a lot.
What is the pricing of the butter?
Per pound, basically. 10 gold pieces.
A pound of butter. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and they have all the kinds that we saw before.
Okay, can we do... what was the one? What was the one that Rosalind got? That was the 1d8.
It was,
That was the-
unsalted.
Yep, unsalted full fat.
Alright, let's do 3 pounds of that.
Alright. Mark off, by the way, as you buy these, what they do, because I am going to forget.
3 lbs of unsalted corn butter. And what does that do again? It's a 1d8 of health.
Yep.
1d8 of healing.
Healing or 10
Or
HP.
temper HP.
Yeah, he'll need. Fervus requires butter for the popcorn.
Which one you buy?
And
What varieties are there?
Salted, unsalted, dairy-free, low fat.
What does the salted one? What does the salted butter do?
Advantage on intimidation checks.
And a d4
Cool.
of healing.
He'll take
Yes.
the. I'll take the healing one.
They all
They're all
heal.
healing.
They all heal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the
So-
salted-
The most,
what is
the
salted
most
butter?
healing is the unsalted.
I'll take
What
the
are the-
unsalted.
That's
And
hard.
what seasonings are there, like in terms of like garlic, like garlic, salt?
It's all the standard
white
ones.
cheddar.
These aren't magical
Standard ones.
seasonings; they're just for flavor.
Cool. I'll take white cheddar and garlic salt.
All right, go ahead and mark off 3 gold for that.
curiosity,
So butter
the
and-
3...
Oh, how much of the butter are you buying? Sorry,
3 sticks.
in pounds.
It's in pounds. Esther has bought 3 pounds.
5 pounds.
That's 50 gold pieces.
Okay.
It's a lot of butter, dude.
So, the unsalted butter, it's 1d8 of HP or temp, and then is there any other effects?
No.
Nope.
And then the salted butter is 1d4.
1d4 plus intimidation.
Alright, Esther's gonna do 2 pounds of that.
All right, mark off 20.
She just hands over 5 platinum pieces.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
They're still
So that's
shopping.
1d4, and you said advantage on intimidation.
Yep. On the next intimidation check.
Even if Xenia is an actual danger.
All right.
At
so-
this point,
just shopping. Any other gift shopping you guys would like to do? There's snow globes. There's corn on the cob. There's all the kind of foods you guys saw earlier.
There's postcards.
There's what?
Is there anything...
Postcards.
Oh, it's pretty great. Postcards.
is there a corn-themed cornucopia like decoration?
There is. There's a very large one actually sitting at the very back of the shop on a high shelf.
I'm not
With a
gonna
tag
buy
on-
it.
With a tag underneath that says 100 platinum.
1,000 gold, Conrad?
Overpriced gift shops.
Yeah, man.
Is there anything, like, stupidly corny?
Everything.
That.
That's corny.
No, like cheesy, like that kind of shit.
Everything.
I repeat. Everything.
There's cheesy corn powder. Pom
I mean, there is also that.
There's probably snow globes and t-shirts with all sorts of corn puns all over them.
Oh, absolutely. There's mugs, there's cups, there's travel mugs.
He'll
There's
take a mug.
pens.
The concept
Mark.
that travel mugs exist in this campaign is
Yeah.
very funny to me.
There's flasks and shit and canteens. Yeah, mark off a gold piece for the mug.
What?
A gold piece for the mug.
Yeah, sure.
Yearly
You guys all
vacation.
know, by the way, this is... Oh, sorry. You guys all know, by the way, this is really overpriced.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's aware. Fervus is well aware. He's he did the math in his head, and he's just like, this would normally be run this one. This is flagrantly expensive, but why not go for the experience?
Alright.
To be fair, though, It's a lot of fucking butter.
It is a
It
ton
is.
of butter. And the popcorn is really good.
Alright, maybe it's time to see the idiot.
Yes.
How much is a bag of popcorn, really quick?
How much do you want? Unpopped or popped?
Unpopped.
Unpopped? Per pound, it's like 2.5 gold almost.
Cool, we're gonna do 2 pounds.
Alright, mark off 5 gold.
2 fucking pounds of kernels.
Alright, maybe the idiot's in actual danger.
Yeah, Ferv's bought like 5 pounds each of like butter and popcorn, so he's set. He's ready to go.
Alright, well, may we please see the King Cobb?
Yeah, if you guys are ready, let's sure.
Yeah.
Alright, so as you guys are brought into the throne room, it's not corn themed, strangely enough. There's a layer of green grass to the floor, and a strange pair of hands, like stone hands, that are part of the decoration in here, holding like a cob of corn over like a walkway, up to like a small dais where there's like 2 little waterfalls on the other side, and a man sitting on the throne.
You fucking know.
You do. This is the gnome you're expecting. And I will say, art, credit goes to Ariel, after I sent her a very, I'm sure, confusing text at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Not confusing at all, but it was like, oh, okay. So,
Let me know when it shows to players properly.
it's not yet. There we go.
Oh my god. Rastin, what the
Oh my
fuck,
god,
bro?
what
His
is this?
hair is like popcorn. Oh my god, Ariel.
Standing to his side, with a
Colonel,
blade
Colonel?
So,
with a blade of corn, is a furbolg with like very strange features.
Oh,
Kind of
there's
just watching
multiple.
over.
Wait.
What?
And Xenia, trapped in what seems to be a very fancy corn popper, but also like the size of like a small bird.
This reminds me of an episode of like one of those weird Disney animated shows that no one ever talks about again.
That's exactly
That's what
this
the
is,
gnome
actually.
looks like?
Yes.
this is what, yeah, no, this is like
That's
a
what this
weird...
reminds me of.
If like
But
the
I don't know.
Adventure Time like took acid and then decided to write a thing about corn.
Conrad,
Yes.
is this armor made of corn?
Yes.
Esther's gonna light her hand on fire.
Dude, we just
Hold
gonna
on.
like, we're just gonna look at like Razzo and just be like, what the fuck, bro?
Inside the room, there are a few of the corn soldiers as well as these husks that are kind of situated around. And I will put you guys here on the map.
Please tell me they're susceptible to fire. I'll actually cry.
Alright.
Oh, goodness.
So, you guys can each place yourself at basically between the hands for now, as this is where you guys are left off. And the King Cobb kind of stands from his throne and looks down upon you guys and says, "Welcome to the Corn Palace! Here for all of your... Oh, hello. Oh, wait, what?
Why do you
doing
have
here,
a
Xenia?
prisoner?
Why is there 2 of you?
They
Go
don't
fuck
look much
yourself.
alike.
First.
What do you mean you were first? Since when were you in Eladrin?
They don't
Fuck
look
you.
that similar.
Why is he here?
I was trying to make up for some lost time.
Oh dear lord.
They came here asking to, talk again, because we haven't seen each other for a while. The details which will be left to myself, thank you very much, Xenia Clone.
Hey, I have a name.
I called you Xenia.
You should clone, asshole.
You clearly Definitely not the original.
Well,
How do
I
you know
seen it in a
that?
cage.
Well, we had an argument, okay?
And slams going for essence.
No. We were together for a week, bro.
You came back to me, or your other you came back to me.
Yeah, I'll deal with the dumbass later. Why is he in the cage?
We had an argument. They tried to kill me, and so they're in a cage.
Ass.
Okay, under cover of this conversation, is there any
Yes.
chance of Rosalind being able to cast Mage Hand in an unseen, little out-of-the-way place 30 feet away? Let's
Roll a
see.
sleight of hand check.
Let's see.
Hey,
Right over there, like,
come on.
behind a rock. I'll try it. It's a 4.
Yeah, they see you beginning to cast a spell, and you see King Cobb, like, freak out and go, "Ah! Capture them! Go!" And then
Enough
initiative.
Wait, real quick.
Yes.
While the conversation was going on, was the conversation going on, say, for around a minute?
Roughly.
Can Esther cast Conjure Elemental?
I would like to look at the material components of that first.
It is burning incense. Soft clay.
Also,
Yeah, she's got that stuff.
Yeah,
If you would like to do that, it is very obvious what you're doing if you're doing that.
yeah, I was gonna say this whole thing popped off because you saw someone casting a spell. I know you casting a spell a minute ago would have gone well.
Damn it. It would have been funny.
Oh, I'm on identical initiative with... Oh, God.
Oh, I'm on ruler. There we go. I said it in the chat, but I'll say it again. I might have to run for a bit. I don't know if this would be a good place to pause right before
Yeah, I was gonna
combat.
say, how soon would you need to run?
5 minutes, not even.
In that case, for now, we'll take a quick break.
Okay.
And when you get back, we'll start again.
How long of a break? Do I need to stop recording and upload this in 2 parts?
I can try to keep it quick. I can't guarantee, though. I don't know how long supper will take if there's really not many.
I have to go run at the same time.
Alright.
I have
Yeah,
to eat
yeah,
dinner
this-
as well.
Okay, in
Yep,
that
let's
case...
split it in half then.
Yep.
We'll collect back here when we're all ready.
Part 2 in a minute.
Okay.
Alright.
Yep.
Yeah.
See ya.